Okay, I don't know. This is technically, it says recording number 7 on here. I hope that's right.
We got a lot.
It's been a blur so
Yeah.
far.
I was going to say at this point,
I'm not even sure.
just get
It's
home
been
with
a
the
blur.
SD
Were you
cards.
here yesterday?
Yeah.
Were you?
It is.
Yep.
It's crazy. So we've got Dustin Whitworth. Did I say that right?
Whitwer.
Gosh damn it,
I'll
Nathan.
answer to anything.
Yeah. Just don't call me late for dinner. We've got Dustin with the Huntian. We just learned a lot about Dustin. We just met him just now, like 5 seconds ago, for the first time.
Mutual friend with Kendall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good dude.
Yeah, Kendall was talking to us. He's like, I got a buddy. He needs to come over and talk to you guys. And he's, oh, by the way, he's going to be here in 15 minutes. We're like, all right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do
for
it.
sure.
You guys you've done a few podcasts, I can tell.
We've done a few.
Yeah, because
I think this is our 5th today.
But I mean in general.
Total? Yeah, we're
Yeah.
at 252.
Yeah, almost 5 years now.
It's the newbies in the podcast because I have my own, right? So
Yeah.
it's the newbies that are terrified of just jumping on a mic, a hot mic.
Oh,
yeah.
So you
Well,
can
like,
tell you've
you
done
know,
it.
when you fuck up.
We're over it. Yeah.
Exactly. When you fuck up back in the day, we're like, I'll start over. Gosh,
yeah.
I said Dustin Whitworth. No, I don't give a shit.
No.
You know, like it's just you keep going. You
Run with it.
It's more natural that way. You know, it works really well. So, and then we just started doing video actually. What about 4 or 5 months ago?
Yeah.
So the YouTube side of the podcast.
I need to get on that train. Yeah.
Sony Handycam. 4K. It is 4K, so it's pretty big deal, guy. Pretty big
That's
deal.
better than 3K.
It used to be an
One
HD.
more.
That's
One more
what-
K.
One more K. We got an
One more
extra K in there.
Yeah.
We don't
Used
know
to
what it
be-
means, but
I
we
used
got
to steal
another
it from my wife, and it would just record in SD or SDHD, and it would die after like 40 minutes. So
All your episodes were under 40 minutes.
well,
we had to
we
speed
just
them up
only
a
had
little
40
bit,
minutes
yeah.
of video. Got this one, so we're big time now. Big time.
Love it.
But yeah, so we're here at the Western Hunting Expo with Dustin. Dustin, where are you from?
I live in Wyoming, up by Cody,
My favorite place.
outside of Yellowstone a little bit, and grew up in southern Nevada.
Okay.
So you're a Westerner.
Yeah,
You're a Westerner.
through and through.
Through and through.
Yep.
One of my favorite
Right on.
places is Wyoming. If I were to like get to replant myself anywhere, it would be Wyoming.
We the best and worst thing about Wyoming is we give the middle finger to the non-residents, right? I mean, we will. It's like defending the Alamo in Wyoming. And we will fight tooth and nail to keep all of our over-the-counter deer, over-the-counter elk. I can get 4 antelope tags a year. I mean, we'll cut. I mean, eventually there just won't be any non-residents
See,
in Wyoming.
dude, now we've started seeing a little bit of that, but we had a contact up there. My brother-in-law, who is not here, and I went elk hunting there 2 seasons ago. And we had a buddy that we had on our podcast probably, 6 months after we started. He runs a Veterans Foundation there. And he said, hey, we told him we drew this tag that we didn't think we were going to draw. It's a general tag, if I remember correctly. He's like, you need to come hunt right here. I'll tell you where to park your truck. The elk should be. And I'm like, okay, well, I need to do a little bit of scouting. He's like, okay, I'll just give you the general area. So we get there. We don't find an elk during the archery side. And, then the season closes for 14 days, and then rifle starts. We leave, and he's like, you guys got to come back. You guys got to figure a way to get back out here for rifle season. I'll think about it. Long story short, we're like, dude, we can't make it back out. Like, we put all of our eggs into this 2 weeks. It was him, his wife, and 3 friends in their camp. During rifle season, all 5 of them killed a bull.
Tagged out.
Yep.
Same
Right
hill,
where they told
same
him to be.
mountain that we were on. Like,
He warned you.
son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And he
I
tried
mean,
telling
he
me to
did.
get back. And I'm like, dude, I don't have a rifle. He's like, I've got you taken care of.
Just get out here. Nah.
So the one-off experience felt very welcomed in Wyoming when I was there. It's just beautiful out there. It's, the middle finger. I love that, Wyoming is just calling the wolves across the state line from Colorado and be like,
Just
bow.
popping them. Yeah.
I just love it.
Step across that state. We're watching the collar tracker system. Like, he's getting close.
He's on his way.
He's 2 feet away. Yeah, so, well, here, do a quick introduction. Tell our listeners who you are, about the hunting and what you do.
It's at this point, like I feel, to me, the Hunt Expo is a class reunion, right? Because I know so many different vendors, and we've been doing this for 20 years. Started way back when. If you go back further, I typical Western, grew up. Dad was, we were heavy into mule deer, and my grandpa and dad ran a guided hunting business and stuff, and just real typical, right? So that goes without saying, I think, but. Relative to this Hunt Expo, we started our little social media campaign back almost when Instagram started.
Oh, wow.
And so we came out of the gate, and about that time, my brother picked up a DSLR and got really good at taking photos of bucks and deer and stuff. And so if you remember those days with Instagram, it was like we were mad if we weren't getting 300 or 400 followers a week, right? It was just there wasn't enough content out. And so, I mean, that we went the whole gamut. Like we've gone from that to started getting, pro deals, and then free gear, and then a few checks, and then got kind of turned off to all that. I mean, Kendall, these guys were giving us boots at one point from Crispy or whatever, and just like the whole deal, and all the way full circle to like just kind of in it to be in it for me, and not so much. But I have so many friends in here, and it literally is like a high school reunion, and I love it. Right,
That's
come
awesome.
back and
it's crawling with people.
Yeah.
The only thing we've been to the last 2 years has been ATA, which is closed to the public.
Yeah.
Before that, we were at the Iowa Deer Classic, and that was pretty damn busy, but it's just a baby
Nothing
compared to this.
Have you guys been to the Great American?
No. That's one on my list.
I
and
just
NWTF is another one.
Yeah, I just came off Great American, and this gets busier. Like Saturday right now is
The day.
packed. Like
Yeah.
it'll be shoulder to shoulder in here in the next few hours. Great American is just more steady, but
And it's longer, right?
and 9 days.
It's like that's
my
what I
good-
thought. Yeah, dear Lord.
Good gosh. But no, it was fun. But anyway, so we've done it all, man. Like I've been sponsored pro deals, all that kind of stuff, to just kind of backing off, and now just doing my own thing, my own business. We have a few little side hustle businesses that are related to the industry still, but it's really nice to just not have to worry about who you're making content for. I don't know. You guys might be sponsored and have 40 sponsors. I don't know. But for us, it was just nice to kind of like take a big deep breath and get out of that. And, you
got to be careful. I mean, this is a look into our world, the podcasting world and the media world. You've said no, I'm sure, and we've said no to possible sponsors because of what they want in return, that you're not willing to say, no,
Right.
I'm not willing to, I guess you'd say, sell your soul.
And that's where we kind of started diverging from it, was when that started happening with, companies that we've been working with for a long time and had our way of doing it. And we're like, and then they start putting the heat on, hey, we need this many posts and this many deals and we need this and this, all these. And it's like, dude, you're, we're going to do it our way, or we're not going to do it. And so we didn't. And whatever. I don't know how we got on that tangent.
Well, it's just funny because it is a look into the world that we live in. Like we have our media kits when we work with a possible new partner, and one of the things we say is we will do social media. We will not tell you how much because we hate it.
Yeah.
So if I do one post for you a week, you're going to be happy with it. If I don't do any,
It's organic.
it's organic.
It's the
for
right
us.
thing to talk about. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
But
Anybody that says we need a post a day, that's not you're talking to the wrong folks. For sure.
and consumers we can sense that a mile away, right? Like it's saturated enough that you can smell when someone is like, here's my bottle of scent spray in front of my deer. It's just like, come on, man. So anyway, I don't know you guys from Adam, and hopefully that didn't offend anybody, but
no.
But no, it's come full circle, man. So we, that took us. When I say us, like me and my brother, our buddy Corey, a couple guys that I've hunted a lot with, and took us all over the West. I mean, we were, from Arizona up to Idaho to Colorado, everywhere, Wyoming, Utah, everywhere in between, and kind of, then we get hooked into the application systems out here and learning. That was a big eye opener growing up. We didn't know that you could hunt all these other states, even living out here, right? We didn't know that there was cool deer in Colorado and, elk in Idaho and all that kind of stuff. And so, we, for 10 or 15 years, have just been tasting all of it all over. And that's morphed into, a business that is now just helping people navigate that.
Well, and that's why we wanted to talk to you. Go ahead, Andy.
No, I'm saying it gets hard because it's overwhelming, like you said, trying to get
to figure it all out.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and
to
imagine
map it
being
all.
a flatlander like us. We're flatlanders.
Yeah.
That wants to go out west. We've had shows about this before. Never been out west, but they would like to go on their first elk hunt, or they'd like to go wherever. They have no idea how to start. Every state does things differently.
Yeah.
Points, lottos, all these different things. And it can be overwhelming for, a guy or a group of people that just want to start it. So tell us about what you've started when it comes to the tag, side
well,
of it.
let's start with let's bring some value to the guys that are listening and explain the problem that they actually have, right? Because that's what I realized at the Great American, right? This is in Pennsylvania. This is in the heart of eastern coast, right? And most of the people I talked to, there was a disconnect because they didn't understand that there was a problem in the middle that I could solve for them.
Yeah.
Right. If you ask them, do you want to go hunt elk out west? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like me. I want to go hunt Alaska someday, and I never have, because I've never done it. Right. A lot of those guys back east in the Midwestern, even, they've never jumped into the Western tag app processes and how every state's different, and they've never researched and read what the difference between a bonus and a preference and a hybrid system and all these different things are. And so they don't know that there's a problem that I could solve for them. And so they look at you like, well, yeah, I'd like to hunt elk out west. Can you do that for me? Well, yeah, you need to commit to 2 to 5 to 7 years, and then it's just like, well, I'll let you know when I'm ready. And
wait a minute.
Oh,
no, if
you need to do it now.
It's today, yeah. And so, and with that, because what's changed in the last decade, right? This I hope will bring some value. The days of just picking up your over-the-counter tag in the West is about done.
It's almost over.
Yeah.
It's about done, and I mark my words, in the next 5 years or so, it will be gone. Yeah. The only thing really left is Colorado has over-the-counter second and third rifle season elk. Okay,
right.
Not ideal because it's just not the right time to be hunting elk, right? We all want to hunt them in September, not October.
Yep.
And there's even the ones that are over-the-counter are on a quota now, right? Mm-hmm. Idaho, they call it over-the-counter. Bullshit, right? I don't swear on my podcast, but you guys already opened the floodgates. So
you can do it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Bullshit, right? It's not an over-the-counter, in my opinion. It's a lottery type system where you get in this cluster on December 10th, and if you get a low enough number, then you get lucky, and if not, then you're screwed. And there's a quota; it's capped. Arizona over-the-counter archery deer that used to be now it's capped, right? And so that over-the-counter Colorado elk is about it.
Yeah.
And 10 years ago, you could drive out to Idaho on your way to and pick up a tag at Maverick or whatever, the sporting goods store, on your way to hunt on September 12th or whatever, right? It's changed.
We used to stop at a gas station and fill up our quads, get some water, and buy our tags.
Grab your tags, right? Yep. And grab a wolf tag while you're there or whatever, and those probably won't go away.
Tack on a bear tag for $100.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And so all that being said, it's like, these, whether it's me or the next guy or, there's plenty of other companies that offer a good tag service, and I can talk about why not to use mine, right, is the best way I can put it. But if you don't understand that system, every state not only has its own PhD of the system itself, but now you have to understand, should I buy points? Why should I buy points? Are points even worth it in this state, right? Mm-hmm. Here's for instance, Wyoming, my home state now, with their sheep, moose, and goat. It's an incredible place to kill a bighorn sheep, let's say. They just changed to a 90-10 split for non-residents. It used to be much higher. It was like 75-25, okay?
Oh, wow.
If you do the math on that, that means that there has to be 10 permits for one to even get allocated in the random draw or whatever that they're talking about having. Right now, it's a preference that they're going to switch to a type of random. But anyway, if there's not at least 10 sheep permits in a unit,
you're not getting one.
You're not getting one.
Not even one.
And there's I think there's 1, maybe 2 units in the state that will actually pump out 10 permits. So if you guys don't have 20 plus points for sheep in Wyoming, you are wasting your time right now. Now, you never know what happens, and in the future, it's
sure.
If you have the money and the budget, it's never the worst idea to just be grabbing points. But if you're on a budget or you're looking to hey, where's the best place to put my $1,000 to get points out west or $500? That's probably not it, right?
Yeah.
I could show you a dozen other places to go get sheep points, and that would be a stupid place to start building points. So you just, to keep up on that in 12 different Western states, and then understand the nuances of, bonus, preference, what's the difference? Colorado's going to change in 3 years from a pure preference to a hybrid 50-50. What's that going to mean in the next 3 years? What's that going to mean after, it's a full-time job for someone who lived out here and grew up in it, let alone, if you're just kind of the Midwestern, Eastern guy that's, I'd like to go hunt elk someday. Let's put a plan together.
If you're starting at right at square one, I mean, imagine how much we know now after 10 years. Imagine being just wipe that all out. Okay, well, I want to put in for New Mexico. How many points do I need? Well, New Mexico is pure lottery. You don't need that
even
there.
have points.
Oh, so I'm going to do that in Colorado. No, you're not going to do that there.
You got to build points.
It's just, I can only imagine being that person who's like, I want to do this, but where do I? It's like, I don't know. It's like trying to drink water out of a fire hose.
Sure.
And that's, I think, where something like you do might be beneficial for some flatlanders like us.
Yeah, so I'm guessing, I came to you and be like, this is kind of my plan. I want to be able to hunt elk every 2 to 3 years or something like that. And do you just cater to what they're looking for?
Yeah, yep, exactly right. So we have a usually 20 to 30-minute conversation at first. Right now it's perfect time, right? One you've missed the boat out here. We're just getting started on apps,
just
right?
Started, yep.
The only thing we've missed right now today is non-resident Wyoming elk in the lower 48 at least. Alaska already passed back in December. Wyoming non-resident elk and Arizona elk and antelope. That's it.
Yeah.
And even the Wyoming elk, we can still buy points in the summer.
You can buy them in July. Yeah.
If you weren't really going to go hunt this year, you would just buy the point anyway, and we're not behind really. So Arizona elk and antelope. So I want your hopes and dreams, your aspirations, what you want, why you want it, where you want, what weapon, what kind of shape you're in, what type of hunt. I want all the qualifying details, and then we're going to reverse engineer. It's really good to think out west, I think, in short, medium, and long-term plays. Depending on how aggressive we're going to get with our budget, so to speak.
Yeah.
But the states all kind of fall into one of those three categories just by nature, right? You got, in the short term, you got like a Montana, Colorado. Wyoming's, flirting with short to medium, right? So Wyoming might be a medium because it's 2 to 5, 6 years.
And then
right
Arizona
now.
is when you're dead.
No, I don't. No,
I love making that joke.
Yeah, that's Nevada, where I grew up. Nevada, even the Utah for more. And again, we also have to cross-reference this on a y-axis with the quality of animal that you're trying to get, right? Because if it's just a bull, then we don't even need to mess with Nevada because 90% of those hunts in Nevada are premium type hunts, and they're fun. But if you're just like, hey, I don't care, I just want to kill bull, that's a different story than hey, I want to kill a bull, and then I want to kill a good bull, and then I want to kill a serious bull.
Right.
Okay, perfect. That's all I need to know. And then we are going to go short term in Montana. We're going to go mid-length 2 to 5 year hunt in Wyoming, and then we're going to start buying the long-term points in the Utahs and the Nevadas. Arizona kind of falls in the middle. Honestly, with 7 to 12 points in Arizona, you're going and hunting some of the, especially if you're willing to go out of the box a little bit and not have to have the second archery season in the, the friggin' middle of September. We put in for a late archery hunt in Arizona this year on one of the better units. Yeah. But, it only takes 6, 7, 8 points, right? And so if you're willing to, move the chess pieces around a little bit in Arizona, you can be hunting in under a decade. So anyway, you're starting to get the feel there of okay, as soon as, and then there's deer, and then there's antelope, and then there's the once in a lifetime, sheep, moose, and goat and stuff like that. So, reverse engineer a plan, some reasons not to come to me, right? I like this way of thinking. It's first one, I don't have a fancy, I have a website. You can even sign up on there. You can pay. There's a downloadable form to fill out all this information. But I'm not going to push you. You're not going to get a fancy client portal.
Okay.
Right? I'm just not that business. I'm not that model.
Yeah.
It's me.
I'm one-on-one.
It's one-on-one. So you're not going to get, but you're also not going to get pushed to a client portal. I know a lot of guys that have already come over and let me run their business, and their biggest complaint was, they signed me onto this portal, and then it, because it shows me all the stuff in there, they don't even talk to me anymore, right? So there's good and bad.
Sure.
You're not going to get pushed to a secretary or another employee because there isn't one.
It's
just me.
My wife might answer the phone, but she's not going to do anything.
She won't even do that. She's taking care of the kid. It's just me. So, but when you and I talk and you tell me that, hey, we agree that we're going to put in for this, it's going to be me punching that in, right? So, we're not that big. I may or may not miss a call here and there because I'm doing stuff like this, and I'm the CEO and the marketing and the, the janitor.
And I still like to hunt.
And I hunt. Yeah, I mean, that hopefully is over by the time application seasons and, shoot or whatever.
Good point, yep.
But if you needed, anyway. And then, I don't know, maybe a third one. I don't know. That's two really good reasons not to come to me, right? I don't have a magazine, right? That's another one. A lot of these services.
Is that something you're supposed to have?
Well, a lot of them do, right? And it's like this $150 or $200 or whatever. And I'm a one-man band. Like, I'm not going to worry. Even if I was a 20-man band, I don't think I'd be firing up a magazine these days. But, if you just want honest to goodness, the best personal service, you're going to get my freaking cell phone.
Yep.
We're gonna talk. That's the other thing. We're going to talk multiple times through the application period because, frankly, if someone just takes your plan in January and then just runs with it, I don't understand that because, like, if I look at my personal, and you guys are probably the same, things change.
I was just getting,
Like, tags are drawn partway through the application season, and it's like, oh, frick, I just picked up a Colorado deer tag, and the Wyoming deer draw is not even done yet.
Right.
Like, I'm not even going to put in for that, and everything just changed, right? And so we're going to touch base 2 or 3 times at least, especially if it's a big game. If you're 1 or 2 states, whatever, right? It's pretty easy. But anyway, that's just
and consumers, like, what I like about that is consumers, I think, are making that change where it used to be everything was face-to-face, and then this internet thing came, and now everything, client
over
portals,
emails,
and you can do this. And, like, listen, I like paying my bills and not having to call and, talk to anybody. That I don't mind. But when I got a problem, I want to pick up the phone and talk to a human being who can help me.
Yeah.
And in this case, like, I know a lot of people out there that it's almost like a child. Like, they're trying to live a dream out. They're trying to do something that they've wanted to do their whole life potentially. And I just would have a hard time, like, just signing up online and then thinking something's going to go right. Talking to someone being like you, Dustin, hey, what do you want, Nate? Well, I would like to be able to do this in 5 years. Okay? Would you want to be able to, like these questions, would you want to be able to hunt an elk every year 3 years from now? Because if you play it right, you can draw a different state every year and start working through those states.
Yep.
But if you don't know what you're doing, it's just going to be throwing, darts at a wall and hoping they stick.
You could be wasting money too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money to put
is.
in for all these things. You add it all up. I mean, if you're just hunting one state, sure.
And some states take your money up front.
Yeah, like New Mexico. I mean, it's obviously it's a lottery, but they pull that money. It's $800, $900, whatever it is, that you're out of until the
draw.
Tags are drawn, and then they reimburse some of it or whatnot. And it's there's a financial commitment that you got to be aware of going into all this stuff.
Talking to a human would be nice.
Right. Like I'm sure they could talk to you, and you can come up with a plan and be like, well, this is what your budget needs to be going forward for the next however many years.
Yep.
So, and that's nice because
very, very special. I mean, every single person so far, I haven't had a single. I've got dozens and dozens of clients. Not a single one's on the same exact deal, right? Like, and no one probably will be. It will everyone will have a little tweak, a little personal touch that it's like, hey, if we hadn't chatted, even multiple times, we wouldn't have gotten you exactly where you need to be, right? So, and
you would get a feel for them too just by talking to them.
Oh yeah,
like let's say you talk to Andy and you bring up sheep, and Andy's like, "Man, that would be great. What a dream." And so you got a feeling from him that he would like to go after sheep one day. You talk to me, you're like, what about sheep? I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know that I don't care
I
about
really
that specific species right now.
And that's interesting because you're probably full of shit.
I am.
Right?
No, I want to hunt sheep.
Okay, and what I mean, or what I would uncover if we were talking, is you say, I don't really care about sheep. Okay, but what if we're already applying for Utah elk, right? And they make you buy the $120 hunting license already, and after that, it's only $15 per point for all the other species.
Right.
Do you want to maybe throw an app in for the sheep in Utah for $15?
Because you don't care about sheep now.
Yeah.
Might care about it in
10 years?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm just really good at uncovering that. The other thing is like smoking guys out with what they'll actually shoot. Right. That's another big one. Is like, oh, I want a big bull. Okay. Well, do you want to wait? Are you prepared to wait 15 years for a 370? Well, no, I don't want to wait 50. Okay. Let's look at this bull. That's a 320 bull. Oh, I'd shoot him. Okay. Yeah. That's
especially like
we
a
can get you
Flatlander.
hunting a little sooner than
Especially a Flatlander. Like the first time I saw a bull elk was, what do you think they are in that unit? Two
mid upper twos, mid upper.
Upper twos best.
6 point though.
5
Still
to 6.
looks like a
5 to 6.
freaking giant when they're in front of you for the first time.
See, we guide hunters, mostly deer hunters down in southern Utah, but same deal, right? It's like big talk when they show up. 180, just because I don't know where they pull these numbers from, right? And I know what 180-inch buck means or whatever, but you get them in front of a 162, and they're like, "Ooh, yeah, no, I think I'll take him." Like, okay,
I'm happy
but you
with
realize that's a 160 buck. Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Send it. Dude, it's the same thing with whitetail. Like, I want to shoot a 200-inch deer, and then you put a 150 in front of them, they're like, oh, damn. You don't realize a 150 is a giant, too.
It's a big buck.
And then I'll just shoot him.
And I'll be happy.
So,
awesome.
Anyway, man, I learned a long time ago, you don't know much about me, but I don't fill a lot of tags. I'm mostly because I'm super, super picky. I've been doing this a long time, and I'm too picky, especially on mule deer. But the joke is I'm better at drawing tags than I am filling them.
Nice.
And so I might as well make a business of getting other guys tags that are probably better hunters and can go out and kill stuff.
I like it.
Funny.
Well, so how can people get a hold of you? And, are you still doing the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay, so how can people listen to the podcast, get a hold of you with the guide service, all of it?
Yeah, you bet. The podcast is the Huntian now. It's morphed. If people followed us from the beginning, it was Team Backcountry. And that just kind of morphed into the Huntian a little bit more. I don't know. It's just a branding thing, really, and a little more inclusive rather than being so specific. So, the Huntian, it's heavy mule deer because that's what my passion is. But we'll touch on elk. We'll do whatever.
That you?
That's it. The Instagram's the same. The Instagram's also just my name at Dustin Whitwer. The guiding thing is through Deep Creek. I'm a sub-guide kind of with my brother and one of his good friends. We do Nevada, Utah, and then they can do Arizona and stuff like that. So that's under Deep Creek Outfitters. But, Instagram's the easiest, most common place to get a hold of me. That's where I live and do a lot of my posting and stuff like that. But,
Awesome, man.
Well, following all of them right now.
Yep.
I do a lot. If you go on the website, thehunting.com, there's only like 3 pricing levels. Because this is a one-man deal, I can tailor make a custom plan. Like I've had plenty of guys, for example, if you just want to buy points only in a state, I'm not going to charge you the full $100 because it's just not the same amount of time, right? And so it's like I'll half it for $50. So I can do all sorts of hybrid pricing, and we can make something work for guys. I've even done consulting packages where they're like, no, I'm fine putting in. I just need to bounce it off. I just need to talk.
Yeah.
And we work up a fair thing. There's no rules that I can't break, right? And so anyway, that's it.
Awesome.
Dude, that's awesome.
That was a question. I was kind of like, do I ask that pricing wise? But then it's like
$100. The baseline stuff is $100 per state up to like a 500 max, right? And then if there's a family, like a full blown, I've done a few family packages. We just tap that at $800. If it's you and your wife and your 3 kids or whatever, then we'll just $800. And those prices are. Aside from the per state, the 500 and the 800 would be all the states you can throw at me, all the species you want or whatever. That's all in.
Nice.
Right.
So.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Dude, I'm glad we met you.
Bet,
I'm glad it was like, hey, we know this guy. Let's meet him. So
Yeah, well,
Dustin Whitwer.
Kendall's if Kendall vouches, it was a 2A street, right? If Kendall vouches and said, hey, you need to jump on with these guys, or hey, you need to jump on with this guy, like Kendall's a straight shooter.
Yeah, 100%. Well, Dustin, dude, thanks for coming on. Have fun the rest of the expo, and we'll talk to you later.
Sounds good.
Thanks, man.
Have a good one, man.